Hey performers, welcome back. So I think it's time that we move on from all of that Halloween talk that we've been doing over the last several weeks. And I thought a great way to move on would be to observe and reflect on a great performer. But this performer is not a musician. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we try to help you become the best possible performer that you can be on whatever stage you choose. I'm Danny Robertson. Thanks for joining us again this week. If you haven't seen us before, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel or join our email list at DannyRobertsonMusic.com. Today, we're going to observe and reflect on a performer who also is not a musician, but teaches us some really valuable things about how we choose to be as performers. I'm talking about the late, great Robin Williams. While we are good performers in our own right, something that Robin Williams teaches us is that we can expand our horizons, get out of our comfort zones, try different things, become different character versions of ourselves, and create a better performance that way. So at this point, I'm actually starting to lose my voice a little bit today, so you're just going to have to bear with me as we go through this. But let's talk about Robin Williams. If you're like me, you're roughly in your 30s or 40s. A lot of us around this age grew up in Robin Williams' heyday. You know, we saw him when that version of Aladdin came out and he played the genie. And he was in tons of movies throughout his career that became, all hits in their own right. Like I remember, things like Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji, Patch Adams, Night at the Museum, Flubber, Popeye, Hook. I mean, he was in all of these major movies. Robin Williams' expertise was not just that he was a funny guy. He was also incredible at combining the funny part of the performance with the heartwarming part of the performance. He had some incredible movies that he did that were much more serious versions of himself as well, like Dead Poets Society and What Dreams May Come, Goodwill Hunting, where he had a famous scene in that, several famous scenes in that. And we're going to look at one of those today. We're going to look at 5 short clips of Robin Williams, either in a movie that he was performing, on stage doing a comedic show, or in an interview where he was just being himself. The first one I want to show you is from an old TV show that he was in called Mork Mindy. This is where Robin Williams really got to be a household name, and he did some amazing things on this show. I want you to watch this scene because it's not just that he's being funny, it's that he transitions his character several times in a very short time span, and he does this in several of his movies. So take a look at this scene, okay?
Come on, Morky, open up the door. Why don't you show Mindy where you tucked away all those little emotions, huh?
Mayday, mayday, mayday! All systems overload. Fall back defense line B. Prepare for assault system.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Never, never. The door! It's breaking, the door. Mindy, run for your life. The emotions are coming. Free at last! All of your emotions, follow me! I'm not Mork, I'm Mork's lust. Come on now, girly girl. That's all. Get away from her, jealousy. What the hell are you doing? Don't hurt him. He has a right. Oh, wait, please. Okay. All of your emotions, come on. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Let's go, boys. Yeah! Mindy.
This was one of those scenes that kind of let you see the early side of Robin Williams' talent, and that how he could expand his voices and change his personality almost on the fly. Very impressive. The second scene I want to show you is from a movie that Robin Williams did a few years later called Good Morning Vietnam. And this one scene where he is a radio announcer speaking to a group at a military base during the Vietnam War, he basically takes one take on the cameras and just does incredible things with it. So watch this scene. It just shows the versatility that this guy had.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll. Time to rock it from the Delta to the DMZ. Is that me or does that sound like an Elvis Presley movie? Viva Da Nang. Oh, viva Da Nang. Denying me, why don't they get a rope and hang me? Hey, is it a little too early for being that loud? Hey, too late. It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, my God, it's early. Speaking of early, how about that Cro-Magnon, Marty Drywitz? Thank you, Marty, for silky smooth sound. Make me sound like Peggy Lee.
Good morning, Vietnam. What the heck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, Lieutenant. I guess it means good morning, Vietnam.
And who gave anyone permission to program modern music?
Freddie and the Dreamers.
Wrong speed. We've got it on the wrong speed. For those of you who are recovering from a hangover, that's gonna sound just right.
Let's pull it right back down again. Let's try a little faster, see if that picks it up a little bit. Let's get up on 70. Those pilots are going right now. I really like the music. Oh, still a bad song. Hey, wait a minute. Let's try something. Let's play this backwards and see if it gets any better.
Look, there's new Viv. Freddy is a devil. Look, there's new Viv. Freddy is a devil.
Picture a man going on a journey beyond sight and sound. He's left Crete. He's entered the demilitarized zone. All right. Hey, what is a demilitarized zone? Sounds like something out of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, no, don't go in there.
Oh, hee, oh. Ho Chi Minh.
Oh, look, you've landed in Saigon. You're among the little people now. We represent the Arvan Army, the Arvan Army. Oh, no, follow the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Follow the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Oh, I'll get you, my pretty. Oh, my God, it's a Wicked Witch of the North. It's Hanoi Hannah. Now, little G.I., you and your little Tudu, too.
Adrian. What are you doing, Adrian?
Oh, Hannah, you slut. You've been on everything but the Titanic. Stop it right now. Hey, hi, can you help me? What's your name? My name's Roosevelt Lee Roosevelt. Roosevelt, what town are you stationed in? I'm stationed in Poontang. Well, thank you, Roosevelt. What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot. Hot in this is my shorts. I can cook things in it. Little crotch pot cooking. Well, can you tell me what it feels like? Fool, it's hot. I told you again. Were you born on the sun? It's damn hot. You can be a little thing. I saw it so damn hot. I saw one of those little guys in the orange robe burst into flames. It's that hot. You know what I'm talking about. What do you think it's going to be like tonight? It's going to be hot and wet. That's nice if you're with a lady, but it ain't no good if you're in the jungle. Thank you, Roosevelt. Here's a song coming your way right now. Nowhere to Run To by Martha and the Vandellas. Yes. Hey, you know what I mean. Too much?
So after watching that one, I stopped the camera because I wanted to watch it again really quick. I counted 13 different voices that he did through that single performance. I wonder how many of today's actors and actresses could pull off something like that, because I don't think many could. Moving on, we're going to look at an interview that Robin Williams did shortly after the movie Mrs. Doubtfire came out. This interview talks about how he found that voice and how he got to there. And there's a few additional things that we'll watch, but enjoy this one. I think this one's a really neat look into his personality and how he thinks through things.
Mrs. Doubtfire's voice, where is it exactly?
It's kind of it's a synthesis of it's like a Glaswegian accent, because I just finished working with Bill Forsyth for 4 months. So it's I first started doing the voice was very much like that. It's like Julia Childs, and I realized that would scare even a hyperactive child. So I had to kind of tune it down, and I got more like Margaret Thatcher on steroids, and I went down. And then I slowly but surely kind of took a little bit of Bill Forsyth and a little bit of this costume designer who's this wonderful sweet lady named Merritt, and combined them and got this gentle, gentle voice of Mrs. Doubtfire, who can still say, "Get away!"
It was gentle.
Oh, she's nourishing. She could breastfeed an entire football team.
Football team here.
All right, Mum, you're in the team. There you go, Tommy. Now score. You're a strike. Go for it.
in Aladdin, I mean, did that start out as one voice, the genie? Because it's...
Yeah, they wanted me to do the script, and then I came in one day, the first day, and read it and tried it, the scripted version, and then I asked, do you mind if I play? They went, no, try. And I just went off and did everything I knew. And it was great, because I did about, I don't know how many...
Did they just let you run riot?
Oh, big time. There's 30 hours of stuff that they eventually condensed. But it was fun, because it was like any voice, you know? We could do anybody Des because we're here, and damn it, look at you wearing every color. It's the end of the viewing day. Do it all, you know? Because look at you. I'm saying you look fabulous. Look at this thing you're doing. And this couch, I'm saying, okay, you know? And look at this set. You could land a plane on here. It's a runway light, goes up to infinity. Okay. But voices, they come because you can change, you know. You can change your voices, just anything. Judy and I are so happy to be here, we could drop a log. That whole thing, you know. There's all sorts of voices, and it's all, you know. You do voices here in London. There's so many to hear. It's great, really. It's wonderful. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
It's so impressive. I mean, he's even in an interview and creating all of these characters and being humorous. And I don't know if you saw what I saw, but several of the characters that he did in Good Morning Vietnam were actually regurgitated in this interview. The thing that's neat about this one is that everything that he did on that stage, he was doing on the fly. He came up with it on the spot, and that's how good he was. Before we move on, I want to give a quick disclaimer to this next section. Robin Williams does use a little bit of foul language in this next section because it's a stand-up routine that's aimed at adults. It is also one of his famous stand-up acts where he basically talks about how the game of golf was invented.
Here's my idea for a fucking sport. I knock a ball in a gopher hole.
Oh, you mean like pool?
Fuck off, pool! Not with a straight stick, with a little fucked up stick. I whack the ball, it goes in a gopher hole.
Oh, you mean like croquet?
Fuck croquet! I put the hole hundreds of yards away. Oh, fuck out, yeah! It's great fun there. Oh, yeah, that's a great thing.
Oh, like a bowling thing.
Fuck no! Not straight, I put shit in the way. Like trees and bushes and high grass. So you can lose your fucking ball and go whacking away with a fucking tire iron. Whacking away, and each time you miss, you feel like you're gonna have a stroke. Fuck, that's what we'll call it. A stroke, because every time you miss, you feel like you're gonna fucking die. Oh, great. Oh, and here's a better part. Oh, fuck, this is brilliant. Right near the end, I'll put a flat piece with a little flag to give you fucking hope. But then I'll put a pool and a sandbox to fuck with your ball again. You'll be there trashing your ass, jerking away in the sand.
Oh, and you do this one time?
Fuck no! 18 fucking times!
The thing I like about this routine so much is that it shows Robin Williams at his craziest. And it's the kind of thing that shows how you have to be that brilliant in your performance. You have to be willing to go way outside of the box. Now, I'm going to flip the lid on this, and I want to show you a very famous scene from the movie Goodwill Hunting. This movie was very well known for its ability to take humor and mix it with heart. And Robin Williams got a lot of critical praise for this. The famous thing about this scene is that as brilliant as it is, it was all ad-libbed. It was done on the spot. Robin Williams came up with a story on the spot that was so heartfelt and so spot on and so funny that it made it into the movie. Yes, it made it into the movie, but it is so good that you can see Matt Damon just laughing his butt off because he was experiencing that the first time the same way we were when we watched the movie for the first time. This is Robin Williams at his absolute best. He's funny, he's thought-provoking, and he's heartfelt. And it's a great combination, and it's something that I miss about him as an actor. Let's watch this.
My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. You know, she used to fart in her sleep.
I'm sorry I shared that with you. One night it was so loud it woke the dog up. She woke up and got like, oh, was that you? I said, yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell her. Oh, God.
She woke herself up.
Yes. Oh, Christ. But Will, she's been dead 2 years, and that's the shit I remember. Wonderful stuff, you know? Little things like that.
Yeah, but those are the things I miss the most. The little idiosyncrasies that only I knew about. That's what made her my wife. Oh, and she had the goods on me, too. She knew all my little peccadillos. People call these things imperfections, but they're not. Oh, that's the good stuff. And then we get to choose who we let into our weird little worlds. You're not perfect, sport. And let me save you the suspense. This girl you met, she isn't perfect either. But the question is whether or not you're perfect for each other. That's the whole deal. That's what intimacy is all about. Now, you can know everything in the world, sport, but the only way you're finding out that one is by giving it a shot.
That is probably my favorite Robin Williams movie because he took what he is so good at with humor and creating voices and everything like that, and he basically stepped out of his own comfort zone to dial it back and be a much more serious, complicated, emotionally driven actor. And I think that that teaches us something very important about our own performances. You and I, we all have the potential to be that big, bold, amazing, versatile person in our own performances, whatever we choose for them to be. When you perform on stage, it's really easy to fall into the routine of playing the same role over and over again. The thing about watching a performance like that from Robin Williams is that you can be something else on stage than what you normally are. You can create different versions of your personality that allow you to become the character that needs to be on stage at that given point in time. You can be serious. You can be emotionally driven and heartfelt. You can be funny. You can be entertaining. You can be over the top. You can do all of those things, but you have to learn to get outside of your own normal box. That is where the good stuff is. That's going to be it for this week. I do hope you enjoyed observing and reflecting on the performance style of Robin Williams with me. If you haven't yet, do me the favor, subscribe to the channel, join the email list at DannyRobertsonMusic.com, and I'll see you next week. Thanks again. You take care.